Hi everybody, it's me. I always feel so good when I get out of work, so I was like, I could make a little video just for fun. And this isn't really gonna be a fun topic. I have a lot on my mind, of course, most of the time, because when you've lived with anxiety and depression for as long as I have, your mind, it's almost like your brain still has these scars. So it's like as you're thinking, you could be thinking about anything. You're thinking about, what am I going to have for dinner tonight? What are my plans for the evening? And all of a sudden your brain kind of goes, well, let's go back to when we freaked out about that, like years ago. You don't even remember what it is that happened, but your brain has these, what I call mental scars. I don't know if that's an actual psychological thing or a psychological term. And you go back to the trauma response, which is like, let's freak out and let's just get all panicky. And then you're also prone to getting down about things because you know that if you get panicky, that's no fun. And then you miss out on all the fun. And it's just kind of like a natural response to feel anxious and depressed. If you struggle with anxiety, you probably struggle with depression. And I say that lovingly because I know that nobody wants to be like taken, they don't want want to take it lightly. So let me just switch hands because I can't really, so part of it is like, we know deep down, like if we've gone through some healing, like we understand our trauma responses, that's healing in and of itself. We have the power to know I'm having a traumatic experience with what I'm going through. It could be, like, I don't mean that, like, trauma is, like, the same for everybody, but sometimes for me, things feel so traumatic and they're not. Like, if my boyfriend doesn't talk to me, enough, and there's always your opinion on how much is enough conversation, or and then it becomes so traumatic though. I'm like heartbroken and I feel like it's the end of the world, and it's like, actually no. But to you, yes, it does feel that way. So the reality is we have to know we're having a experience that doesn't really fit the context. Like some people, they explode though in those moments, and they freak out on the outside, so they might like yell, and they might, it maybe even get violent and stuff like that. But for some people, we have the panic, we have the anxiety, we have the depression that's inside, and you're imploding. Maybe you're an introvert and you were always so used to keeping things kind of more to yourself, and so, you're just kind of, and I don't mean that means you're quiet, but I just mean, I feel like introverts, we kind of keep things to ourselves. Like, we stay in our world, we stay in our, and I don't know if that's 100% true for every introvert either. There are probably some very social introverts, so maybe I'm one of the more social introverts because my boyfriend claims that he thinks I'm a little bit of both. I think we're all a little bit of both though, by the way. I mean, how are you even like maintaining watching this video without wanting to change it right away? Because you feel a social connection with me. You feel like there's something, I'm getting at here. But anyway, what happens with anxiety and depression though, what I was going to say is we have these mental scars, and then with the mental scars, we have these behavioral patterns. So like with me, I isolate a lot with these, when I'm experiencing something because of my mental scars, right? So it's not so weird anymore for me. It used to be really dissociating, and I'd just be like, I'm not even here right now. I'd be having like a fit, I'd just be trying to crawl out of my own skin and just be like, no, but now I'm like, I'm a little more in tune with that part of me, in a way that I also can find out what works for me. So the reason why I'm blabbing on and on and on about that is there are situations still to this day, even though I've gone through quite a lot of healing. And what I want to say to you is sometimes healing just looks different for every person, right? So for some people, healing is just, finding out what you are triggered by. What are your triggers? What upsets you? And that's real for you. Like, nobody else can tell you that's real or that's fake. You have these experiences, and so it can be scary though, and some people want to what's the word, they want to, like I was saying, kind of dissociate and be like, get me out of here kind of a thing, crawling out of their skin. Other people though might have more outward explosions of just rage, and they have to like they're a firecracker, so yeah, I think, like, for me, I like to verbalize things, but I'm definitely an introvert who does a lot of imploding. So I really don't, if I've exploded, it's usually all by myself, and I'm just like, bah! In the car especially, I will just scream if I need to. And the car is a safe place for me. Not really in public, but maybe like in my driveway or something. So it's just like a deeper topic I wanted to talk about, because trauma is real. Like, the stuff that we've been through, everybody's been through some kind of trauma. It's not like we're talking about anything totally, out there. We're not talking about like aliens. We're talking about things that are human experiences, guys. And I'm really proud of you for watching this video, if you're still watching and pondering with me, because I don't know if you can tell, but I am kind of going on the spot, like just blah 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 blah. Why did I actually originally hit record though? Well, because I was triggered today, big time. I have to work with a girl, and she's a very friendly person, but she is the lady who my ex-boyfriend cheated with me. Cheated with her. Sorry. He cheated on me. He cheated on me? Yeah, I got so confused. Yeah. He cheated on me with her. And then they fell in love, and they're together now. And I just have this like huge trigger response whenever she and I work together, where things just are like, and I'm just like, it's like electricity that is short-circuiting or something, like not collected and controlled and purposeful, electricity that brings light, and like, goodness, it's more like, this is dangerous, and this feels a little bit like, what happens if this happens? And I'm thinking of all the like, what if, but not like in a positive way, because everything in life you can take in both, dark or light. You can you can see it in the dark, or you can see it in the light. But can you really see it if it's in the dark? That's a good question. Sometimes it's just so dark, it's not shadowy, it's like pitch dark, pitch black. So it always kind of sets me off, because I really poured into that relationship. I really gave my heart, and he did not as much. And I know that he tried, but it was like, I don't really want to get into all of it, but it was one of those relationships that was not very healthy. So even though it felt good a lot of the time, and it was like, oh, we could be just such a cute couple if we just if we just stick together, it'll all be great, or whatever. Well, it actually was one of the most unhealthy relationships I've been in. And he wasn't really committed. I stuck with him. I was sort of, I guess, infatuated, and I never really, if I loved him, it was sort of like, one of those conditional kind of feeling or conditional kind of loves after a while. At first, no. But then it was like, only if he's like in a good mood, do I want to hang out with him? Because he had some really big issues that I'd have to say, all right, well, I'm trying to get through to you and you're not responding, so bye. And I had to draw that line, which was mature, but it also, in terms of a relationship, does not work with most romantic relationships, so we didn't last. And the thing about working with somebody who he cheated on, it just kind of goes like against every principle I value, which is like, I know that people can like forgive cheating and they're fine with it, but I am so sensitive to stuff like that because I feel so deeply hurt, deeply hurt. I'm like, wow, you just basically left me in the gutter. You may have really found love, and good for you. Like, you need that in your life. Everybody needs love. But as much as I have compassion for you, I have more compassion for me because that hurt like hell. And like, that may sound actually really selfish, but the trouble with me is that I was at the time not healing. And so I was like an open wound. I had open wounds that he knew about too. And I wanted to include him on my journey of like, I do want to find healing, but I hadn't found healing, And part of that puzzle piece was learning that I had deep, deep wounds. I had issues too. And some people, they can deal with that together. Or just friends, we can talk about things, it doesn't have to be romantic. But, I've always taken romantic relationships really seriously, though, because they're very intimate. They can be sexual. For me, they have been. And that was before I was really learning what my boundaries are and learning self-control and stuff like that, which is important because you can't just act on every urge you have. Like, oh, he's so hot. Like, I don't care. Not every hot person has access to my soul, and so still a work in progress, like my boundaries and my self-control and my healing is not done, but I just wanted to share that for somebody who feels like they get set off by things. Maybe they're in an uncomfortable, awkward position in life where it's like, yeah, my ex got remarried and now I'm working with his wife, something like that. That is exactly how I feel. Some people can handle that, but the way that things left off, the guy cheated on me, that was really, really, really hard. That was like, when I see his car, which I still know what his car looks like, it's not like I forgot, on a campus here, I just like, I have some kind of reaction that is close to like what I think when you hate something and it like totally consumes your body. Like, I have total disdain for him. Like, when I see it, it's just like, and I told my boyfriend, I said, when I see his car, I just want to beat him up. I have all that stuff that I'm still working through, and part of that is grief. We don't give ourselves that grace to be like, it's not all hate and anger. Yeah, it is, but it's because you care. You had something you deeply loved, and it was taken away from you, and you kind of also try to sort out, well, what was my part in it? And so there is all of that is still going on, and in all of that, I don't want anything to do with my ex, and so working with his girlfriend, I'm like, I am really all set. Thank you. So, just wanted to share, that's an example of one of my triggers. It just causes me a lot of stress, and working with her twice a week is really hard. So I hope you guys are doing well. Love you very much and hope you're doing well. Bye, guys.